back with another spring training episode. The regular season is right around the corner, March 27th. And as we're leading up to that, we figure we'll cover some more spring training baseball, what we expect from the Mariners, what our hopes are, and what realistically is going to happen. So here we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Sogcast. I'm Patrick.
I'm Garrett.
And I'm Matt.
Hey, look who's back.
I'm back from Florida. I got tan during the winter. It's very nice. I hope you're all doing well in dreary Washington.
It's been long, gray winter, but sunshine, summer, and baseball is right around the corner.
Baseball.
That's right.
We touched a lot on how the Mariners didn't really make any moves and stuff in the offseason. We kind of have to do the best with what we've got. And I guess one of the big things were one position we really didn't cover a ton of on our last episode. Who is going to be like the everyday first baseman? Because I said I want Luke Raley. I would love Luke Raley to be our everyday first baseman, but I don't know if that necessarily will be the case.
Could be Rowdy Tellez.
I could see Rowdy getting some ABs at the major league level. He's a guy that's not afraid to put one off of the Hit It Here cafe every once in a while. I mean, we've had guys like, Mike Ford and Daniel Vogelbach. And,
he's exactly one of those guys.
Yeah, he's another one of those guys.
I'm a Mike Ford truther. I believe he just never got the shot he deserved.
I think he should have had more at-bats in those clutch situations, but they didn't give them to him.
Also, Mike Ford did speak up against the ownership, and they got rid of him pretty soon after. And I didn't even disagree with what Mike Ford said, where he was just like, it was after he had like a walk-off hit one game, and they're interviewing him after, and he's like, look, I'm a good hitter. I can help this team, but it's hard to get into a rhythm when I get one at bat, every 2 weeks, or, an at here and an at bat here instead of regular at bats. And
it's like if a lefty's on the mound, they just immediately pulled him and put in a right-handed batter. It's like, dude, I can hit lefties too. Like, give me a shot here.
Hopefully we see less of that with Dan. Dan at the helm.
I really believe that will be the case. Dan, and we noticed it even at the end of last year, that there was less switching out for the handed matchups, although it still did kind of happen. And I guess, that is part of the strategy.
Because it happens normally. The way that Scott was doing it was like egregious, bro.
Yeah, way too far.
Too much.
Yeah, just fully analytical on-page decisions and no feel for the game. Like I was saying, man, he was a lame duck manager and just fell straight into the hands of what the analytics department wanted him to do and deployed that with no emotion and no say. Just a stern bullshit face that we couldn't stand by the end of that. So
Raley goes 3 for 3 on the day. Canzone, you're in.
Hey, Canzone, you're coming off the bench. It's the 8th inning. You weren't prepared at all, but they just put in a lefty randomly. So get him out of here. Yeah. Honestly, you know what I'm really excited for? Dan Wilson's first ejection.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a good day.
That's gonna be super fun. I can't wait for that.
I think he'll be pretty reserved for a while, but I can't wait for that day. It's coming.
It's not soon.
No, hopefully not.
Because he seems to be a mellow enough dude and stuff. But something will happen at some point during a season, and he's gonna get tossed, and it's gonna be awesome.
I think the idea is, Dan is the guy that has a lot of feel for the game and respect for the game. And he won't be doing all of those on-page analytical decisions straight from the office. He's going to have some feel for the game and play it with good emotion, I think, and with a hands-on approach, making those calls himself.
Mindful decisions.
Yeah, exactly. Baseball decisions. He's got that baseball mind, and I think Dan Wilson can steer the ship in the right direction. Yeah, I'm kind of hopeful that this season, especially acquiring guys during last year, Randy Arozarena and friggin'
Victor Robles,
the coolest guys that you can add to our team. And they're going to add a lot of emotion and energy to this team and push it in the right direction while Mitch Haniger takes a back seat finally. We filled our outfield, and now he's our 5th option in the outfield, which is kind of good. It kind of sucks that we have to pay him $15.5 million to like DH a little bit. Hopefully make no starts in right field, but like
I wouldn't even say Haniger is our 5th option. I'd say he's our 6th option.
oh yeah, with
Yeah.
Canzone and Rayleigh, I guess so,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, don't put him out there.
Yeah,
he should
don't.
not play
There's-
any games.
There's
in the
no
outfield.
reason that he should play, really, period.
I'm happy about our outfield. Our infield's kind of a rotating cast right now.
Haniger hasn't been playing.
No.
Nice.
yeah.
Last spring training game he played was on March 8th.
Yeah.
Today's the 16th.
Whoa.
There was even a split squad day.
That's crazy.
Didn't show up.
I read that he's dealing with some shoulder soreness, but that might just be veteran garbage soreness where
He's got the SOG.
he's say you're soggy, bro. Like,
Look, with his streak of injuries, they're probably just like, just stay off the field as much as possible and you'll be on the roster. Don't worry. Like, we'll get you some ABs this year, but everyone knows that his career is kind of coming to an end here. And every risk you take with that guy is just too much. So if he's feeling anything, yeah, I guess just let him rest and take his hacks in the cages when he can. And I don't know, not put him through the motions in the outfield, especially because he won't be playing much outfield or none, hopefully.
this is gonna be Haniger's last season in the bigs. Like,
It's gotta be. I mean,
he's old. I mean, he's like what, 36, 37 maybe? Injuries and just this is gonna be his last year of baseball.
with our outfield depth, I mean, he opted in, obviously. You're going to opt in for $15.5 million, but it kind of puts the Mariners in a situation where we kind of have dead weight hanging there unless he can actually produce again.
Haniger's 34.
That is
Mhm.
shocking. I
Mhm.
thought he was older.
Feels like 37.
Yeah.
Donovan Solano, 37.
Yeah, and is he going to be our first baseman? I don't even know really what that pickup was for.
It seems like it's going to be a lot of Luke Rayleigh and Donovan Solano at first base.
Or Rowdy. If he makes
Yeah,
the
and Rowdy
the
if
team.
he's there at any point, yeah.
Yeah.
I hope.
Hmm.
I don't know if he'll make the opening day roster, Rowdy, because then they're carrying.
For sure 40 man though, right?
I hope
would,
so.
I would think so.
Or else they would have bounced on him already.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens contract wise. We invited him to our spring training, and I don't know if we put him on our 40 man or if we like release him and if he doesn't get picked up, we just outright him to the Rainiers, something like that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how that all works because somebody's gonna want Rowdy Tellez at some point this season. And
Sure.
If it's the Mariners, then
Plenty of teams could use a guy like that.
yeah.
One thing I'm curious about is with our outfield being so stacked and so fun, what are we going to do with Canzone? Like, it's nice to have him at depth, and of course, if an injury happens, he will most likely be plugged in right away. But it seems like he's made a lot of steps in the offseason. You know, he's having a pretty decent spring. I've been hearing his name a lot. He hit a bomb today opposite field.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know, he's got that pop, but just, I mean, I guess he's just essentially a depth piece for us right now because, I mean, Randy and Julio and
Victor Robles.
I mean, they're gonna be in there every single day. So
yeah, those are guys that you can't keep out of the lineup. I mean, they're gonna want to play every day, and they're gonna have to be in there most days, and they have to find games for guys like Canzone, find spots. It's gonna be one of those days where they want an extra lefty in the game. I think Canzone's a great option to start and have on our bench to come in later in the game when they're playing matchup games and bringing in different pitchers. I don't know. Canzone just seems like a dynamic guy. He's proved that he can play some defense, and we know he's got some pop as long as it can like mitigate his strikeout rate because it gets really high. He's a free swinger,
yeah,
and he strikes out a lot. So if he can lower the strikeouts and go in there and make good pitch decisions, make good pitch swing decisions, then he can be really productive. I don't know. They'll mix him up with Randy, especially because Randy's right-handed, Canzone's lefty. Robles hits. Is he right-handed or left-handed?
I'm looking it up right now.
Because that'll matter.
Right.
With Rayleigh and Canzone being left-handed, they can play those matchup games with the right-handed outfielders too.
One thing also going back to Dan's managing style and stuff, it is kind of funny this 180 we did of being just purely analytical to then Dan and Edgar coming in and definitely going with a more old school approach of like hit the ball.
It's what we've wanted for years.
Yeah.
The pitchers throw hard enough that if you put the barrel on the ball, you're going to hit it hard, like see ball, hit ball.
You remember last year sometime when they made an announcement, we're putting the iPads down. It's like, you shouldn't have to tell people that. That's crazy to like announce it to the fan base. But
Yeah.
I wonder if that,
Fans were unhappy.
now that I'm
man.
thinking about it, I can't remember if that was in the Dan Wilson part of the season.
It wasn't. That
It
was
wasn't.
Scott. It was Scott.
I wonder if that was more for Scott than the actual players. Were the players sitting there playing on their fucking iPads?
It's not that they were playing it.
Not
Well,
playing it.
they're just like Angry Birds in like I can't hit shit. But no, I mean, but I feel like how much of that was even Scott's decision. I felt like Scott was such a yes man that they were just like, hey, after every at bat, analyze all these pitches and just data.
Could be, yeah.
And
Yeah.
either
don't know.
way, it was dumb. The whole hitting philosophy with Scott was garbage.
Yeah.
And let's just hope Dan goes to that old school baseball approach of just put the ball in play and good things will happen. Don't try to analyze parts of the zone and you should do some thinking up there. You learn a pitcher's traits and tendencies.
And on a basic level, be like, dude, you can't hit up and away. Don't swing at him.
Mhm.
Yeah. And
That's all. That's as far as you need to take that.
Mhm.
I mean,
But when you're having them analyze every pitch and every zone with squares and stuff like you're playing a video game, it just wasn't. It clearly wasn't working for the guys. So.
Yeah, they have to do their research and know what all these different guys throw. Of course, go to the iPad and check it out. Be like, okay, he throws a slider that is shaped like this. He throws this fastball that tails this much. Like, it's good to know those things going up there, but it seemed like they were getting analytics dumped straight through Scott and just it overwhelmed all of our hitters, and there was no hitting culture. So I think Dan will breed that hitting culture with Edgar along the way too, and really help these guys learn how to play the game naturally instead of on paper. And you can't be up there thinking about those little colored squares when you're hitting, dude. You just have to know what the guy throws and what his strengths are and what your strengths are and battle. So the fight is really important, I think. We have to match those guys. Anyone who's out there, all these pitchers are so good. So, it's always going to be a battle. Just know your strengths and go up there and execute, And it will be a more basic approach with Dan and Edgar. They're going to go up there thinking the right way about hitting.
good.
Yep. A culture of hitting is breeding now. It's the spring.
Way too early prediction. Who's taking the division in the AL West this year?
The Angels, duh. They got Kikuchi. What we can't do shit against
That's
that.
right.
But for real,
Astros. Just cause
that's what they do.
that's what they do.
They have lost some pieces, though. Don't get me wrong; they're still a very good team. But Kyle Tucker is now on the Chicago Cubs, and
Mhm.
Kyle Tucker was awesome.
He's
very
awesome.
good player.
Where'd Bregman go?
Bregman's on
Mets?
Boston,
He's on the Red
Oh,
Sox.
That's right. Yeah.
Red Sox are trying.
and they
Okay.
have Altuve in left field, which is weird.
Good. Keep fucking with that.
Wait,
I like
Altuve's
this.
playing left field?
Yeah,
That's interesting.
Good.
Yeah, that leaves Jordan over there to do the hitting and not play left field, so that makes sense. But Altuve in left sounds like the weirdest thing.
Whatever, dude.
I don't know. So I think the Mariners and Rangers have a good shot at this
The
division.
Rangers.
If the Rangers can stay healthy, they
especially Corey Seager.
yeah, and Semion's still there. I mean, they've got Garcia, Adolis Garcia, Josh Young, Josh Heim,
Jonah.
Heim. Yeah, they have a good squad over there, man. So
They do.
I think they can make a run, and the Mariners can make a run. But Houston seems like the front runner again. I'm just not confident the Mariners can win this division. We're on this Mariners pod talking about, I don't know.
Hey, we're
man.
realistic, man.
We are realistic.
We've been watching this team for long enough. We know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, there's a world where the Mariners make a big push, win 14 games in a row, and then stay consistent, and they don't drop those 14 games later on. It could happen. You never know. That's why we watch
Shit,
baseball.
man.
It's fun to keep track of these things. But if you're gonna ask for like a projection, what I think is gonna happen, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be Astros or Rangers winning the division. I don't see the Mariners winning the division. I see the Mariners winning 82 games this season.
So we're not even in the wild card race. What do you think, Patrick? Who's going to win the AL West?
I don't know. I would think. I mean, it is kind of interesting the fact that it's essentially a 3-team division. The Angels are the Angels, and they're atrocious. And the Oakland, Sacramento, Vegas A's.
They don't have a city.
Nope, they're just A's.
Just
The
A's.
Which is, that's
The
so
Athletics.
ridiculous. That's so bad for the sport.
Yeah.
That's really dumb. It's dumb in football when they had the Washington football team.
I liked it.
And it's stupid for the new Utah team in the NHL, which is like the Utah Hockey Club.
Mm-hmm.
They don't Nate. How hard is it to come up with a name? Gerald. There, I just came up with a name right there. You see how easy
They
that
don't have a
was?
city, though.
The
It's
Utah Geralds.
There you go. At least that's something.
I heard on the radio today they were talking about what's going to happen to Tampa Bay Rays. And it's weird.
Yeah, like their stadium deal fell through after their stadium got destroyed in the hurricane.
Yeah, the whole top's gone.
They
It's
are going
destroyed.
to be playing their home games at the Yankees spring training field.
Oh, boy.
This is cheapening baseball.
It's pretty bad.
This is ridiculous. You have 2 major league teams playing in minor league stadiums. Do you think any sport
One's a
would
spring training stadium, not a
Well,
minor league. It's not a stadium.
do-
It's a baseball field.
Yeah. But could you imagine like in the NFL if like the Patriots for 2-3 years played at a high school field? Like it cheapens the sport. It's really
not
bad.
good. They're also front loading their entire season of home games. And there's a point when they spend an entire month. It's like 4 weeks straight on the road.
I didn't hear that.
They come to the West, and I can't remember who they play, but let's just say it's like Padres for 3 games, Dodgers for 3 games. Then these are all National League teams. This is weird.
But I mean,
But yeah, they come over to this side of things, and they're just on the road for a month straight. That's fucking brutal.
That is brutal.
that sucks for the guys. Like
Yeah,
the
man.
players, that's awful. And man, that's just what is going on? Why does baseball have such a baseball problem?
It's a bad look.
Florida exploded.
Yeah.
And the Rays took a big hit.
Yeah, that was unexpected for sure. Can't do much about that. But I don't know. All of the politicking around the A's staying in Oakland and moving and all that stuff was just a shit show for a long time. It's just a bad look for baseball to have so many teams playing in substandard stadiums. Like, do something.
How
Like,
are the
let's-
Rays going to play without a roof?
I mean,
These
they're-
home games are going to suck.
Yeah.
It's either going to be hot or raining. Every home game.
Mm-hmm.
I heard they're moving their times back to like 7:35 starts.
You have to, man. Yeah, it gets really,
Wild.
really hot and humid.
God damn. I'm sorry, Rays. That sucks.
That sucks. No one went to that stadium anyways, though, because the
One way in, one way out.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah.
The bridge to St. Pete.
It's like trying to get, even worse than trying to get into White River and out of White River.
Oh god, and that's brutal.
Yeah, that's just a miniature form of going into St. Pete.
If any of you guys are going to concerts at White River Amphitheater, pay the extra $30 and get the star parking. It's an extra $30. You get to park right at the front, and they stop all the traffic while you leave. It's the best $30 you'll ever spend,
I'll
or else
say-
you'll sit in that parking lot for 6.5 hours.
Oh yeah, it'll save you a lot of time. Anyway,
Yeah,
who's
sorry,
gonna win?
Rays.
Who's gonna win the AL West, Patrick?
I don't know. Mariners, obviously.
Duh.
I don't know. Probably Rangers.
Rangers?
Especially
Okay.
if they stay healthy. It's gonna be a 3-way battle though, hopefully. At least I'm hoping that.
Let's make it a 3-way battle.
Yeah, My pick officially was the Rangers as well, I think. I decided, yes. The Rangers are going to hold it together and do some damage.
Probably.
But the Mariners, how many wins? You think 82 wins? I was thinking a couple weeks ago, I told you guys 81 and 81 incoming. But I've gone up a few wins from there. I was thinking 84 was a comfortable number, which puts us out of the race.
Yeah.
I'm not even expecting that we're a wild card team, so they can exceed my expectations.
Exactly. Shoot low. 82. 82, 84. Yeah. What do you think?
87. They're going to sniff the wild card, and they're going to miss it.
They're going to sniff the wild card's butt again.
Yep. Come up one game, 2 games short.
Dang.
I don't know. I have high hopes, though. I am actually, more optimistic, keeping the squad together. I like another year of team chemistry. Who knows? Maybe it can work out in our favor. Bounce back year from JP. Some form of production from Mitch Garver.
Anything.
Okay.
Anything.
Well, I'm worried about Jorge Polanco playing third base every day.
You should be.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be playing there every day, first of all. They'll probably get some Dylan Moore in there. They'll probably get some, Mastroboni or something.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows? Or Leo Rivas even. They'll get some other guys third base time if Polanco needs it.
We have 2 other utility guys
Yeah.
who are not Dylan Moore.
But only one of them has a gold glove.
Exactly. And it seems like they're going to take their utility guy with the gold glove and stick him at second base part-time.
Yeah, definitely. Ryan Bliss, though. I mean, Ryan Bliss is probably going to start a lot of games at second base for us.
I'm cool with that.
And I don't know.
Me too.
I like that.
Mastroboni is getting a lot of playing time this spring, and I'm constantly hearing his name. He's stealing bases, he's slapping singles, getting RBIs.
He can play infield and outfield.
He's a regular Dylan Moore.
Just what we needed. I mean, it makes sense that he would play some if he's actually performing in spring training.
But his career numbers are awful. They're so bad. I was actually shocked when I looked at his career numbers. They're shockingly low.
I think he makes the squad.
I think
earlier a couple weeks ago, I was telling you, I was like, Mastroboni's just going to be Dylan Moore, the real utility guy, while Dylan Moore takes time a second. You're like, he's not making the team. Don't worry.
I didn't think so because of his numbers. But
I understand.
You think he'll make the opening day roster? I don't know. He's kind of on that line.
Well, it kind of depends on
26, man.
He could be.
Maybe.
It kind of depends what we decide to do with second base, because we don't know. Is it Dylan Moore? Is it Bliss?
Or third base, like Matt's saying.
Yeah.
Let's say,
Dude, if
opening
Polanco
day
can't hack it at third base,
exactly.
I didn't think he played good defense at second base last year. He's not. I mean, he kind of reminded me of Robinson Cano when he was not lazy, but just not as athletic as he used to be, and tries to go off of his instincts, but can't hack it, I don't think moving him to third base is going to be better. It's going to suck. Like you guys were saying last episode about having a great streak of defensive third basemen, I think we're taking a huge step back in defense on third base this
Massive. But if he can hit, if he gets his bat going, I'll take the hit at third base.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is offense and defense are both coin flips right now. So I'm like, how long is he even going to be playing third base? We have guys to fill in if he can't hack it. And I'm kind of upset that we just re-signed Polanco and didn't go for somebody better on the market. But, here he is back on the Mariners. I didn't think we'd even be interested in doing that.
No, why would you? It's a weird thing to do. But I'm totally with you. Maybe he does make the opening day roster. I don't care, because he's not going to be there for long, I think. What if he's great? If he's great, he sticks around. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
But, man, if he just stinks at offense and defense, you've got Dylan Moore. You've got Leo Rivas, I guess. Does Leo Rivas even play third base?
He's
second base shortstop guy?
Yeah, usually middle infield, but he seems pretty dynamic too.
Sure.
But I'm just worried about Polanco at third base. They're obviously going to give him the run and see what he can do for the first few months until we have to pivot, if it comes to that. I hope he hits. I hope he can handle third base, but I'm worried all
Totally
around.
justifiable to be worried about that.
Yeah.
And another thing that's concerning me about Polanco is one of the biggest hopes was because he was dealing with so many injuries last year that he's healed this year and he can bounce back. The problem is he's not playing a ton of spring training games right now either. He's only played 7 or 8 spring training games, which means he must still be dealing with like the recovery process from his off-season knee surgery. And I was hoping this spring training would be great for him to get out there every day, get that strength up and see what he can do. But he's not playing that much. So then what? He's going to have a shortened spring and then he's our everyday third baseman? I don't like that.
Right.
It's going to be hard to get up to game speed if you aren't playing a lot in spring training. And yeah, he is
Jump right into the regular season.
Right. Yeah, he is still coming back from his knee stuff, and they're trying to work him in defensively more and get him used to the reps at third base. But I don't know, man. It's tough to throw him across the infield and have him come in still recovering from the knee surgery, apparently, still like strengthening. Like, dude, doesn't make me feel any more confident, you know. But we'll see. I hope he can be good and productive, but we'll see. I don't think he's going to save a lot of runs at third base, so he better be doing a lot with his bat to make up for that.
That's what I want. Because there's such huge shoes to fill at third. All you can do is, in this situation, is that hope Polanco can get his bat going.
Yeah.
JP Crawford, boys, Mr. Mariner.
Mr.
My
Mariner.
Mr. Mariner.
This generation's Mr. Mariner.
JP Best Mariner.
Best Mariner. JP Crawford.
We need him to be best Mariner again. He was so bad last year. Also dealing with injuries, but just he looked out of whack. It was not a good year defensively, offensively. His season was offensive.
We all know who the real Best Mariner is, but I'm still going to call him JP Best Mariner.
Yeah.
It is JP Best Mariner. Until his stint with the Mariners is over, he's JP Best Mariner. I think he's going to have a really good season this year. We saw him do it in 2023. 2024, he only played in, 105 games. And he hit 202. So,
damn.
But we know what he's capable of. We know what kind of at-bats he takes. We know what kind of improvements he's made in his game, hitting the ball the other way and getting more torque and hitting for power more often. So I like the tools he's put in his bag. He's still a really good defensive shortstop, and I'm excited to see what he can do. I think he's playing almost all of our games this year.
Let's hope.
If he doesn't get hurt, he's going to have a good year. And we need him to, because this is the end of the window with these guys on our team.
Yes.
And it seems
how far out is Cole Young?
A year or two.
A year or two. Yeah.
A year probably. We might see some of him this year if things go that way. We'll
see Dylan Moore or Leo Rivas at short before we see any of those young kids.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
Which I'm also totally okay with. I'm so tired of the Mariners rushing people up, and we haven't really done that in a long time. Like, that was more like the Dustin Ackley, Mike Zunino days and stuff, where we just ruined these young kids' careers by not only throwing them to the wolves way too early, but then just being like, oh, you're not doing good, go back to AAA, and just like bouncing like, 21, 22-year-olds back and forth and just not. Although, we did kind of do that with Kellenic.
Yeah.
But Kellenic was...
Go ride the bus for 2 weeks, and then we might need you back in California, so we'll fly you out, and then we're gonna send you back down the next couple weeks because we won't need you on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Fuck, riding buses, taking planes, trying to perform well. Like, that's really rough for a lot of those guys.
Yeah. So I'm cool with keeping the young guys in the minors, letting them grind it out. We need JP to really have a bounce back year. Cal is going to get MVP votes this year. Cal is he's Cal. He's the best catcher in baseball.
He is. I was going to ask you what you guys think about Cal this year.
I mean, literally, I have no downsides to his game.
More of the same.
No.
Yeah,
But, what if he takes a step back? He just had a huge year. Massive platinum glove year.
Yeah.
I don't see him taking a step back, by the way. I'm just saying.
Right.
don't be shocked if it happens. And we're like, no, that's our best guy. It's yeah, I mean, that can happen.
Yeah, dude, there's a performance curve for everybody in their career. But
And is his batting average great?
No,
we know it's not.
Not great.
But he hits bombs.
230.
And we all know that that's the most important stat.
If you hit more than 30 home runs and throw out more than 30 base stealers, then yeah, I mean, keep it up, bud. I'm not expecting 45 bombs. I'm not expecting a 250 average.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, expectations are that 30-30 season because that's what he just did. And, like, I want to see more of that. If he can throw guys out and hit the ball over the fence, he's winning your team games. And he's out there for as many games as he can possibly play, too. He does not take days off that aren't scheduled.
Yeah, he's played the most spring training games of any Mariner.
He needs to stop it, dude. You can't keep him off the field.
It's disgusting, the workload he takes on.
And, I mean, when he caught in the playoffs with a torn tendon in his catching hand, the dude is a beast.
My thumb's falling off, but, like, I'm still going out there, coach. Don't worry.
It's in a mitt. It's fine.
I'll get surgery later. I got to catch this game first.
It's the 17th inning. Just put me out there. It'll be okay. Dude, I don't even know how to put that into words. Cal is the man.
We're so lucky to have him.
Very much.
He's a beast.
I want everyone on the team to be healthy. That's a huge thing going into this season.
Injuries suck.
Yeah.
And it affects every team. Mariners, I feel like more often than not, we tend to get pretty lucky.
Last couple years have been good to us.
Yeah, I mean, and even like when we had like major injuries or whatever, like losing Canzone for most of the season.
Yeah.
JP for a lot. Like it still felt like it was never like a blow, like, oh, the season's done because of injuries. The season was done because we're not very good. But there wasn't like an injury that came and we're like, well, shit, how do we recover from this?
Yeah, the JP injury was pretty huge. The Canzone injury was fairly big. And then even after we got Randy, he like ran into the wall and hurt his hip for a little bit.
Didn't Julio run into the wall at some point? Maybe hurt his ankle or something like that?
Yeah, I was at that game actually.
Yeah.
In Seattle. He like tried to make a catch off the wall. It was very scary.
It looked bad and he was out for a bit.
Couple weeks. He like sprained his ankle and he was out for at least 10 games and then tried to come back sooner than he should.
Yeah.
And they had to work him back in more slowly. He had to adjust his stance and everything. Like we did go through it this last year.
Yeah.
Speaking of injuries, though,
go ahead.
We got someone starting the season on the IL. George Kirby had some shoulder sogginess.
A little soggy.
A little inflammation. He got an injection of, what did it say, biogenics or something. So we got like stem cell injection or something. So he had some kind of tear or something like that. He's trying to heal up quickly. But he's starting on the IL this season, and he was probably our number 2 or 3 starter. So that's kind of a bummer.
It seems like Emerson Hancock will definitely be in the starting rotation. He's getting regular starts in spring training, so it seems like they're prepping for him to be our 5 starter at the start of the season. Well, George Kirby heals.
He started spring training a little rough. Emerson Hancock, but I think he's been doing okay.
I think he's dialing it in
the last couple of days, last couple of starts. Very recent.
Good.
He's been all right.
Yeah, I'm not too worried in spring training though. When pitchers are all working on certain things, a lot of times they're basically telling the batter what's coming. Like, oh, we're throwing this right now. Like, I'm working on this. And the batter knows it. Everyone knows it. The batter's going to try to do what they can with that style pitch. Everyone's working on things, like, collaboratively more than against each other. You know what I mean? So, but as they build up into spring training and make 4 or 5 inning starts, then, yeah, they're kind of trying to put all the pieces together and have a competitive outing, which that's where you are looking. Like, maybe now he's building up a little bit, having that 3 inning, 6 strikeout start that you're looking for.
Nice.
That's what we want.
Good shit. Bringing up pitching was really good because I was about to bring up depth at like every position. And I think pitching might be the scariest one to talk about when we're talking about depth.
Scariest
I mean, we're down one. We've got Emerson Hancock. Who's after him? Jonathan Diaz probably, and then who's after that? Some guy.
I was gonna mention, Diaz. He's a lefty that we, waived, and then he came back. We reclaimed him or something like that.
He's been around for a bit,
so we're gonna use him like we have been. Our fifth or sixth starter guys that come up and make the lefty start and then get sent back down, and then
real
Hancock
Tommy
will get
Malone
back. All these guys. They're all gonna act as that sixth starter and fill in that role. Lefty, righty, Hancock, Diaz, a couple other guys that we have in the mix. I don't know.
Yeah, one more injury though, and then
I know things get pretty squirrely.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the pitching depth isn't too deep.
Any team, if you're down 2 starting pitchers, you're hurting.
For sure.
The thing is, the pitching staff is what drives our team. Like that, everyone knows we have the best top 5 pitching staff. Like on every baseball podcast I've heard, they're like, "Oh, dude, the Mariners they're wasting. Like they need to get some offense rolling because they can't waste this 5 starter set that they have. It's dominant." So us losing 2 of our main starters isn't like the same as teams that only have those 2 starters, and then they're fully in the mix of 40-man roster sludge.
That's so true.
So there are teams that have like 3 Chris Flexons on their team.
Yes.
Just a guy that you goes out there and you're like, shit, this probably isn't going to end well.
When the news first dropped that George Kirby's going to be starting on the IL, I was looking around to see who's still a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
Marco Gonzalez is out there.
Oh, gonna pick up the Bulldog just in case. Throw some lefty innings for us.
Probably not.
No, hopefully not. Well, I mean, I think our pitching depth is one of our strengths. It is scary to think about injuries after hearing about George Kirby, but I think we're still so deep there.
It also didn't sound too bad. I don't think he's going to be out for very long. They said it wasn't affecting his velocity or anything like that. It was just like, he'd make his start and then come off like, ooh.
Yeah.
Not like, super comfy.
That pinches.
That
That's
sucks.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's a quick recovery. We get him back and then get the ball rolling.
George Kirby's a fucking monster, dude. He made so many good starts last year that, I mean, I was so surprised that he had it in him. He's really gutsy, and I like that. He's got that I don't know, that bulldog thing that Marco was known for. He's out there to pitch as long as he can, and he's angry when he gets taken out. He wants that next batter. He's so competitive out there, and I love the way he pitches with all of his pitches.
Yeah, he seems like a pretty serious kid.
Absolutely.
Like headphones on, big focus.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing something.
What if it's full-blown worst-case scenario and he's out with full-blown SOG?
No.
That just reminded me. When I was looking at the list of available pitchers, Drew Smiley.
Hey, Drew Smiley.
Mr.
Soggy.
Mr. Soggy himself.
He has a chance.
Our pod is named that.
The namesake of the podcast.
Bring back Mr. Soggy. I couldn't believe he was still in the league. I heard his name last year, and I was like, what the hell?
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he had long left the league.
Yeah, he's
Sorry to cut you off.
Oh, no, you're totally good. But yeah, Mr. Sog himself. Bring him back.
Yeah, go get him. Well, I mean, what is there to say about this Mariners team that we didn't say last year? We have a lot cooler players on this team.
For a full year, I'm so excited for a full year of the most fun outfield in baseball. That's going to be so exciting.
The most cohesive team we've seen in the last couple of years, maybe. Last year, things were not very I don't know, man. We felt like vibes were off.
We don't have an infield.
No, I mean like everyone banding together to be that team, not just like, I don't know. I feel like it's been all over the place last year, especially, where like the team just wasn't vibing. I feel like this is a vibes team.
The vibes seem a little better.
Ty France obviously brought the vibes down. I don't think that's true, but Yeah, and the good vibes thing, that was my reason for keeping a team together instead of just rotating 5 or 6 starters, like starting 9 players every year and just like, oh, look who's joined this year for a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
And let's be real, the majority of players on a 1-year deal are either on their way out of the game or they're trying to prove themselves for a new deal with another team there, and they're doing a 1-year prove it year. So like 1-year contracts, kind of bullshit.
They're just trying to get to the Reds, and they're going to go through the Mariners to get there.
Yeah, it's a tryout for a better team.
Yeah. Or, the twilight of your career as you're wrapping it up.
Yeah.
So I like having the squad back. I think good vibes. I'm excited for a full year of Dan and Edgar. That's going to be really cool.
Yes. Those are the good sides.
Yeah.
But having a not whole squad, who's first base? Why is third base this guy?
Why did we not get Tristan Casas?
Jonathan India.
Why did we not
Pete
get
Alonso.
a third baseman that we're more sure of? I don't know. Like,
We could have even moved JP to
have
second
bats.
base and gone after a shortstop.
yeah.
We didn't do that.
Yep.
We didn't do anything.
It just sucks.
But you love that about this team. They didn't do anything, and that's good because of cohesion.
It just
I
sucks
mean-
we can't add that guy, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need that guy. We need a Vlad Jr. We need even just
We
a
have
Pete Alonso.
Mastroboni.
Like,
Bro, we're right up there.
We didn't even get Justin Turner back, and he made a bunch of comments about how our team is wasting their best window to do something. He called it out nationally. We've been saying it. This is just a waste if they're not going to open their pocketbooks, and then we just have our GM guys just sitting there taking arrows and making their own budget out of nothing, out of thin air, doing some magician shit to sign someone like Solano. It's like, dude, give him a little bit of a budget to work with here.
I completely remembered this topic that I wanted to bring up. So about the Mariners not spending money, but they care about their profits and getting people in the seats. The giveaways that the Mariners are doing this year
Tight.
are insane. Like,
They
don't
look cool.
get me wrong. I was full
It's been 30 years since 1995.
not even like that. So I'm sure they're gonna do tons of 30 stuff. They're doing, and I feel like it's so frustrating for me because I don't want to give them money, and I'm looking at some of these giveaways, and I'm like, I have to go to these games. They're doing like a Cal Raleigh Platinum Glove bobblehead giveaway.
Oh yeah.
Tight.
They are doing
You see the Julio bat flip?
they're doing a Julio bat flip.
The bat spins.
And then they're doing, then you can get these other special tickets. I like to get a lot of the collectible bobbleheads that they do. So I have a Charlie Brown Mariners bobblehead. I have a Batman.
I remember the Batman one. Yeah.
Yeah. They're doing a Joker one this year. They're doing Looney Tunes Mariners stuff. They're doing all this really cool collab stuff. And you know what? It's working because I'm gonna go and get this shit. And I don't want to. I'm like, no, put a winning product on the team, but just the memorabilia and stuff.
It's cool.
And from a business standpoint, I get what Stanton is doing, but damn, can't you do both? Can't you give us cool shit and give us wins on the field? Why does it have to be one or the other?
They want you at the edge of your seat wondering if we're going to win the game, not knowing we're going to win the game. And I think they play into that. And yeah, they play into it hard, man. All that merch stuff is going to be so sick. I can already hear it.
There has been some sick giveaways.
Yeah.
Yes.
This year and in the past. Dude, those Steelheads jerseys are tight as hell.
I love those.
They're doing giveaways for the first 3 games of the season, and game 2 on March 28th is a Randy Arozarena hoodie with his arms crossed.
Nice.
Yeah, dude.
That's dope.
It's cool. It's
Dude.
cool stuff, and it's
They do some really cool stuff.
They have some really good ones this
They
year.
have some really bad ones. You remember Skate to the Plate?
That one made me mad.
I was so pissed off at that.
I thought
that was whack as hell.
I have that skateboard too. I already bought the tickets, but I thought it was gonna be like a cool, like it's a full size skateboard. It's a legit skateboard. But I assumed that it was gonna be like teal and like a Mariners color, and no, it was Ken Griffey Jr., which is cool. But it's like Ken Griffey Jr. can't kickflip. Why is he on the board?
That's not what bugged me about it. It was just a blank deck, like a wood with like a kind of a decal popped onto it.
Yeah.
Like, make it blue. Make it this color blue. Put the fucking S
Throw
on
an
it.
S on there.
That's the skateboard.
Yeah.
Especially if it's something, this is not a riding skateboard. This is something you hang in your house. And how many skaters are there that are going to, or like all these Bellevue and Mercer Island fans, they're not going to hang a fucking skateboard in their mansion. You know, like, this is for hood rats.
Yeah.
Why give them something that looks like it's trashy? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's going to be trashy, make it trashy. Make it skatey. Put a picture of little like cartoon version of Ken Griffey Jr. Not this like stoic with the fucking signature. I was so mad. And it's called Skate to the Plate, and you couldn't skate into the stadium. Fuck out of here. And there was like a half, dude.
The skate night pissed him off.
I was so mad. They had a half pipe somewhere. That like one guy was allowed to skate as like a kind of a demo.
Yeah,
it's
my
like,
friend Tom skated it a little bit.
Come on. Dude, that sucked hard.
That does sound like it sucked. They need to get more skate culture oriented if they're gonna do some shit like that, and have people in the community actually fucking help plan in the event.
I thought it was a huge flop. I didn't go.
Yeah,
didn't want to go. I would have just been mad. They also, another great giveaway they did. I have a bunch of Filipino coworkers, and they were like, "We're going to Filipino Heritage Night. This is what they're giving away." And they showed me this like crazy like jacket. I can show you guys. I don't know if maybe I can put it on the screen, but it was fucking sick. And I was like, damn, I kind of want to go to that night because it looked good as hell. Yeah,
and a bucket hat.
I don't know if this might be an upcoming one. I don't know if it was last year, but for the Filipino Heritage Night, it looked
that's popping
dope. Yeah.
They're doing also. They're giving away a Central Washington University Mariners jersey, and I have to get that because I have the Wazoo and UW Mariner jerseys, so I have to get the Central one.
Gotta represent.
They're doing.
Can we get an Evergreen State?
They're doing a Wazoo bomber jacket that looks really nice, and it's just I hate that they know what they're doing because they do want fans at the games. And they know how to do it without putting a winning product on the field.
Yeah, they get people in there that aren't even interested in baseball at a regular rate, but just because it's one of the events to do, they get all the business, like a bunch of businesses to buy games and box seats and things like that. They definitely know how to market their product well and get people into the stadium.
Just put players on the field who can hit the ball.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I saw a guy in Florida with a Steelheads hat on. And a couple Mariners hats, but like a Steelheads hat. And I was
talked
like,
to him?
hey, yeah, I talked to him.
Have to.
Yeah, of course. I talked to everyone with Seattle stuff on. Guy with the Kraken beanie. Yeah. Yeah, I talked to baseball with a lot of people on the East Coast.
Very cool.
Fun. Yeah.
I've been trying to talk to more Mariners fans if I see someone in a hat or something around. It's very uncomfortable. I don't like initiating that conversation. My most recent one, I was like, "Hey man, you a Mariners fan?" And he's like, "Unfortunately, yes."
Yeah,
I was like, "All right."
That was my response to everyone on the East Coast because spring training was kind of happening too, so there are a lot of people in town for spring training, and I'm working at Renaissance fairs now. But whenever I see people with baseball jerseys and hats and stuff on, I talk to them like, "Oh, hey Cubs!" Like, nice. They're actually trying. Unfortunately, I'm a Mariners fan. Like, we have the same team we had last year, and it sucks.
I was talking about the Cubs recently to somebody, and I think some power rankings have been so bad.
They're dumb.
They're really bad.
It's
fuck
clickbait.
power rankings.
I think it was like slightly above middle of the pack. They were like 14th or something like that.
Sure.
And I was like, I think they're going to outperform that projection. The Cubs are going to do just fine.
I like that teams like the Cubs and teams like the Red Sox weren't afraid to go make moves and try to make their team better while we stood still.
We got Solano.
I'm worried that not worried. I like the Red Sox. I'm always a Sox fan, so I'm happy they're doing something with their team and trying. While it makes the Mariners look like absolute shit. Looking at the kind of offseason they had,
And that is like the pill we have to swallow, the like copium we're huffing to be like, well, we got good vibes. You know, we
Right.
didn't get any great
They give
players.
us cool stuff so that we show up.
yeah.
Seriously, like that's what we're holding on to as Mariners fans.
Oh,
And I mean,
man.
I'm just as guilty. Like,
We're so jaded, guys. What happened here? Yeah, Mariners baseball, obviously.
Yeah, there's no winning culture. That's what happened.
Damn.
You got to do something else if you can't win.
I got
If
a
you're
little-
not willing to try to win, do other things.
I guess I have a little hopium. I thought I was totally giving up on this team this year, but I have a little hopium in me.
you always got to
Keep me
have
running.
hope. Always got to have hope.
Still got a little extra tank in there.
All off season, you get so mad, especially when they don't make any moves, and then baseball season's about to start, and you're like, I'm really excited for
Yeah.
baseball season.
Well, anything can happen. Once the game's
Right.
being played, it's like, okay, I'm here for this.
Yeah, and-
Let's go.
4 months from now, we're gonna be like, remember when we were talking about opening day lineups and half those guys are not on the team? No, they will be. We'll still have guys.
Yeah.
I want to see Rowdy Tellez hit some bombs this year.
I do too.
I hope he makes it around and in our lineup at some point. How long do you think Mitch Haniger is on this team?
For until the end of the year, right?
No,
Like,
I
Do you
don't
think
so.
they ditch him halfway through this year?
Yeah,
just-
I don't think he makes it this season.
I mean, it'd be kind of disrespectful, but at the same time, like we kind
We're
of
giving him money.
unless
to
he
not
can
play
really
baseball.
perform, like he's not. We don't want him in right field.
No.
Nope.
He's
no.
gonna be DHing and pinch hitting a lot, and
He's really good at hitting in clutch situations.
He does
That's
have a
the
clutch
thing.
factor.
You know, a 2-run
Yeah.
single,
yep,
Mitch Haniger comes through, and you're like, we are back, baby. We're in this game now.
we've seen him pinch hit situations do pretty well. Like he can work an at bat, he can put the bat on the ball. So
If that's all he has to do, and he can do it, I won't be too mad.
I think we
It's a
keep
lot
him,
of money to do just that, though.
Yeah.
until the trade deadline or ish.
But honestly, if I'm being serious, I don't think he lasts the whole season. I think they drop him.
I kind of think that
There's
too.
talks right now of them just like not having him on the team. It's clearing space,
I think that's
having
wild.
Luke Raley DH and Rowdy Tellez at first base, or vice versa.
I think that's something they're going to kick down the line. Obviously, we see that option and they see that option too, but I think they're going to let Mitch Haniger ride until he can't.
Absolutely, they will, because they're cheap and they're paying him money, and they would never get rid of a contract like that until it comes down to it.
Mm-hmm.
A Colton Wong situation where it's like, you cannot be on this team.
They're going to have a long leash for him
Yeah.
and see what he can do. And if his numbers are that bad, then obviously then it's a mutual like, yep, this isn't working out because I can't perform and I want to, but you don't need me to do this and I can't do this anymore, kind of a thing. And that's sad to see that riding into the sunset type thing. And what is life without Mitch Haniger as a Mariners fan? I don't know.
I
We'll
like
see.
Mitch Haniger.
We'll see how long he lasts this year. I hope that he can be good enough to like stick around, but at the same time, we do need that extra like spot to be filled by somebody young and exciting.
Yes, I
Which we
think I
have a
like
lot of.
winning games more than I like Mitch Haniger. And I do like Mitch Haniger.
It's just crazy to see the end of it, like that we kind of see the end. It's right there. Like there's no way he gets picked up by another team or tries to play another year. He opted in player option into this last $15 million, and whatever happens happens. I think everybody knows it, and there's no way he plays another year. So
Yeah, he's not. It's not like he's gonna hit a late 30s resurgence.
maybe he'll go
He
out
was
with
a late
bang,
bloomer.
dude.
What if he does hit a late 30? He's not even late 30s. He's 34.
Yo,
we keep talking
that's
about him
my-
like he's
I'm
38.
I'm 34. He's my age.
Yeah, you are old as hell.
Yeah, I'm Mitch Haniger's age. I'm old as fuck.
Where are you at on Mitch Garver? You listened to our last episode and you were like, you guys sounded kind of optimistic about Garver.
Yeah. I
What do you-
mean,
where are you at?
we know what he's capable of doing, but we also saw what he did last year. He got hit in the hand. And had
X-rays
to get
negative.
X-rays. They're negative. And I think Mitch Garver is still our backup catcher and will DH equally with Haniger as a right-handed option. And they'll use him probably one day a week because Cal catches every 5 or 6 games he can.
Yeah.
I forgot that Mitch Garver was our backup catcher. I thought he was just a guy who hangs around.
No, he's a
Yeah.
catcher.
Yeah, now I remember, but
'Cause Cal's
until
a
you said it,
beast.
I was like, oh yeah.
He's a catcher. What the fuck? Well, he came over
Thought
to
he was
be
just there.
a DH for us, but then we kind of slid him into that secondary catcher role because Sebi Zavala could
Oh my God.
cut it, and like things happened, and he started backup catching again and hit it a little better for like a week. Remember, Mitch Garver hitting that one bomb.
He was so relieved too.
And
Yeah.
that was it.
And then nothing.
Yeah, then more of the same. But I don't know, man. I can only see him having a better year than he had, but in a limited role. He's not going to play every game,
Mhm.
but he's there, and he's an experienced hitter. I just don't know how well he's going to do. It's hard to say at all. But
I'm not expecting big
he's got
things.
power. He can hit the ball on the nose, but also he struck out a lot last year. It looked like he couldn't even see.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if he's having vision issues or what, but he could not hit in our park at all.
Where are we at this season on the get him on, get him over, get him in philosophy?
I
Need
mean,
it-
with Edgar and Dan, that's what you're looking for.
That's going to be big, right?
That's gonna be huge.
need it.
We have power guys.
We need to be sneaky. We need to be fast.
Do we
Um,
rein in the power guys? It seems like you
well,
can't.
I
You
mean,
say
who-
go out
you
there
want
and
you
hit
want
the
your-
ball really far and hard.
Think about our power guys, though. Who's our power guys? I mean,
Julio.
most of them are fast as fuck.
That's true.
And our
But-
power guys though aren't upper echelon power guys. We have guys with power, but we don't have realistically anyone on our team that's hitting 40 home runs. You know,
Cal
We don't
Raleigh
have a-
might do it.
Yeah,
Cal
Cal's
could.
the biggest power.
Julio
hitter on our
Rodriguez
team.
might do it.
Maybe.
I mean, but so.
I hope so.
But I'm saying like the trade-off is all right. We don't have one guy that's going to hit 40, 45
Right.
home runs. But if you have 5 guys that can hit 20 or 30 home runs, like that's huge. And yeah, so that's what I was saying. Like we have power. I wouldn't say we have upper echelon
No.
power,
No.
It's
but
not
we have
something-
enough like a little bit of power that we'll get some serious pop and some home runs. this year.
Singles and doubles though.
Yeah. It's not worth prioritizing the power as a philosophy. It's worth doing more of the get them on, get them over, and drive them in type mentality. That's how the game is played when it's played at
Ideally,
its best.
yes. You're right.
Like hitting the ball over the fence every time, great. But like the odds of that are so you can't train enough to, or like you can't ever be that. You can never hit a cheat code and like always hit a home run. So it's all about putting the pressure on the other team and making them feel bad.
It
Like,
hasn't felt like we've been
morale.
doing that.
No.
Or maybe we've been trying and we strike out so much that it's hard to feel like we're even trying to do that. Because that's
like
right.
we're-
You're saying that's how the game is played. Sorry.
We're not putting the pressure on them when we go up there and strike out 2 out of 3 at bats for 6.5 innings and then have one good inning. Like, it's not putting the pressure on. It's not making them uncomfortable. We need
Yeah.
to do more of that consistently. So, getting runners on base is the best way to do that. Create chaos. The Mariners are good at chaos ball. Creating situations that are you can take advantage of when the other team's sleeping. We need to be smart.
I don't want to see a whole lot of, one hit ball, and that one hit is a Randy Rosarena solo shot.
Yeah.
And then we lose the game 3-1, 4-1.
I hate that.
It's bad. It's
Yeah.
bad baseball. I don't want to see it anymore.
I think it'll be smarter baseball.
I hope so.
One thing I'd really like to see a lot of this year too, and we've been pretty good at it, but I want us to really utilize our speed. I want us to lead the league in stolen bases, like as a team. Like
We are
we've got a ton
a
of base
pretty
stealers.
fast team.
Yeah,
Isn't-
Julio Rodriguez. I mean, our whole outfield could easily swipe 20, 30 bags.
Rosarena likes to steal bags.
Yeah,
Good.
Robles likes to steal bags. He's tricky out there. He'll
Good.
get caught sometimes in
Yeah.
the middle, but like he's very aware like that.
Demo steals. Demo steals.
Rivas.
True.
Rivas had some clutch steals late in the season for us last year, pinch running for guys like Ty France and like
Mastroboni looks quick.
Yeah.
He's stealing bases. And Canzone.
Canzone, yep.
Let's get a ton of stolen bases.
Cal Raleigh's known to pull the wagon every now and again.
He'll sneak one in there.
He will.
If he can get one, I'll be
Yeah.
really happy.
He knows who's pitching. He's like, oh, this guy's got the longest delivery right now, especially because I'm on base. He doesn't give a fuck about being quick to the plate after 2 or 3 pitches. Yeah, you just go. It's like, I'm just walking over there, getting a walking lead. Yeah.
Oh,
Cal's the man.
Can you imagine 15,
Edgar would sneak one in
15
too.
stolen bases? Quick dumper.
15 stolen bases for Dumper this year. I'll take the under.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But I think steals are going to be huge for this team and to really utilize and making pitchers uncomfortable. And Robles is great at that.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the guy that was entertaining until he wasn't?
Yeah, so annoying.
Yeah. Oh my God. He was on our team for a little bit. We loved him because he was a pest, but then he stopped producing.
It was on the tip of my tongue. I lost it.
Yeah.
Caballero?
Yes. Caballero. Thank you.
Yeah, now he's a Ray.
Yeah.
Playing at a spring training stadium this year. Oof.
Yeah. Caballero was fun
Is he still on
until
the Rays?
it wasn't. I think so.
Yeah,
I'll look it
I
up.
think he signed there for a couple of years.
Good for him.
But I want pitchers to be uncomfortable. I want us to steal bases, put a charge into one every now and again, and have a good season.
Yeah.
Hope for the best.
What we have not talked a lot about is our relievers.
Oh my God, yes.
Do we have time? Do you want to talk about it?
Sure, let's.
Yeah, let's do a quick run
I
through
mean, we
of our
haven't
relievers.
mentioned Andres Munoz. once.
That's actually a great point.
I missed that,
and he's
man.
got a new pitch.
The
His changeup.
Slutter. Yep. No.
The
Right. The
slutter,
changeup. Yeah. Changeup.
The changeup.
Yeah, dude. Munoz, he's the fucking man. I
He's
love
our
Munoz.
closer.
He kind of gave us a few worrisome situations last year. I mean,
It'll
we
be
were
fine.
riding a roller coaster, but so electric, dude.
Yeah.
Who's a homie that always seemed real mad? Who was kind of like the 8th inning guy?
Thornton?
No, he wasn't. He's not a Thornton or a Brash or a.
Oh, Brash is making his comeback.
Yeah.
He threw his first live bullpen today.
You talking?
Good.
Oh, nice. Good.
Yeah.
You talking about Santos?
No, but he's gonna
He's
be
kind of
back
mad
too.
too.
Yeah, I know.
He gets real.
No, dude, white dude, maybe curly hair, but he's always very aggressive, kind of.
It wasn't Gabe the Babe.
No, it wasn't Gabe the Bay. He kind of like ramped up toward the end of the season. Let me just look into this real quick.
Colin Snyder.
Not Snyder. No, and he's not like a staple guy. He just kind of like popped in last year and was like,
Definitely not Bizardo.
no, not Bizarro.
Not Bizarro.
Maybe we don't have him anymore.
Yeah, I
Let
don't
me
know.
look into this.
Okay.
I know Trent Thornton has been getting some innings in spring training.
Dude, Thornton had a really nice run last year at one point. So did Saucedo. They all kind of switched off, which was
Yeah.
nice. Like, he had a good run and then kind of sucked. And while he had a good run, while he sucked.
Troy Taylor, who's who I was thinking of.
Troy
See,
Taylor.
I haven't heard
I don't
his
know if
name
he's-
at all in the offseason.
Let me see. Troy Taylor had a right lat strain. So he might come back at some point this year.
Soggy lat.
Yeah, Matt Brash had Tommy John.
Yeah.
So hopefully he can come back strong. I mean, he's obviously going to be a huge part of our bullpen if he can come back healthy. That dude is insane. So Munoz and Brash and Santos.
And Santos.
Santos is back, as well as Trent Thornton.
Gabe the Babe, Fettuccine Alfredo
Yeah.
Saucedo.
I love Gabe the Babe. I think he's going to crush it this year, lefties, especially against lefties.
Hell yeah.
And, again, like, it's nice that, our bullpen guys are still around and stuff too, but besides, like, the few outliers, like, for me, that would be Gabe Spire, Matt Brash, and Munoz. But other than that, I mean, as always, dime a dozen for relievers. You can always, you can always find a guy to come in and plug and eat innings and be pretty decent. And the Mariners seem to hit more often than not. Like, we've picked up a couple shitty relievers, but that's bound to happen.
Might have to do with our park factor a little bit too, where pitchers perform better in
True.
our stadium. But also, yeah, we do always seem to pick up some really good gems.
Yeah.
Just out of nowhere.
Honestly, once Brash is back and fully healthy, that's
I miss that guy's slider.
yeah.
It's nasty. When we play wiffle ball, I'm Matt Brash.
Dude, you got yeah.
I remember
I can tell those sliders come in. Yeah.
I remember watching Matt Brash's major league debut because he came up as a starter, and it didn't work out as a starter. But I remember like texting the group chat on his very first start, and I was like, "This dude is throwing frisbees out here." Like his slider was nuts.
Just disappears.
Yeah. Just didn't have the arm strength or the stamina to be a starter.
He was more of a 5-inning, a lot of pitches, a lot of strikeouts kind of guy, not like a longevity guy. More of a I'm giving it everything I got, 10 Ks, 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. All right, call it a day. The bullpen takes over for half the game.
I like that. A lot of pitches, a lot of strikeouts.
I mean,
I'm going to work for it, but I'm going to get there. Yeah.
I'm so excited for Brash to be back and healthy, and let's have another dominant year from Munoz. You know, he got rattled a little bit at times last year. He lost his mojo a little bit, but he's also young, and
and he was the only guy back there for a while. It was just 4 innings of who the fuck is that, and then Munoz comes in to try and do something. There's a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah, that comes with the territory of being a closer, anyways. But that's the thing where it is a lot of constant pressure, and Munoz, is young, and I think each year he's going to get more stronger, mentally, and then, he's just going to be absolute shutdown.
I love Munoz.
Yeah, he's very fun.
I love his post-game interviews, especially after it's just a dominant close, just shut down. They're like, Andres, what were you thinking going into that inning? And he's like, I just go out there, I try to do my best, and I try to, or he has a little higher voice than that.
He does.
I just go out there, I try to do my best. No, not like that. But I love how soft-spoken he is.
I just try to throw baseball the best I can. And,
very hard,
win
very
the game.
Throw hard, throw fast.
Get wins.
Just man, that guy's cool.
Yeah. He seems so chill, but he's put in such high-pressure situations until man, he's been out there just ripping bullets over and over, and even long innings, coming in the 8th inning, coming in the 10th inning, all kinds of situations with such high pressure, and he's handled it pretty well through the ups and downs. He's had his downs. He did lose his mojo for a bit,
yes,
and we moved him out of the closer role for a second, but
he figured it out.
He's the man. He got the stuff for it. So as long as his mental game gets stronger, you learn from all those experiences, he's going to be put right back in the hot seat, and I can only see him succeeding. He's one of the best closers in the game, in my opinion.
Also, it's going to be nice to see a full year of how Dan Wilson handles the closer role.
Yes.
Is he going to send him out for 4 or 5 out saves? Is he going to, or is he going to make him a traditional closer? Which, me, that I want the traditional closer. 9th inning only. And if it's an absolute dire emergency, a 4-out save.
Yeah.
But other than that,
3 up, 3 down.
Yeah, I want.
Get out of there.
I want a traditional closer. I want Munoz to be that guy.
7, 8 pitches.
Yeah.
Job's done. Yeah.
I think we have the staff to do that, man.
Yes.
The way our starting pitching staff goes deep, and the way that our bullpen bulldogs everything that comes at them. I like Thornton. I like Gabe the Babe. I like Saucedo.
And I don't think he's very long for the club.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'd hate saying it. I don't even want to put it out there.
It's a different look for batters, but it's not that nasty.
Exactly. I'm oh.
He does throw that sauce up there.
Is
sometimes.
he super dope? Not really, but I really like him.
I like him a lot too. I think he's a really cool guy, and I hope he has a good enough year to stick around.
I think he grew up right down the street from us.
Yeah, he's some
Maple Valley or some shit like that. I don't know.
Yeah, super local guy. Well,
seems like a dude you could just kick it with.
Yeah, absolutely. He's gonna be our second lefty this year. Gabe the Babe, our number 1 guy. Saucedo holding it down on the back end. We only have 2 lefties in our bullpen, as far as I know, and he's got to hold down his spot there.
I don't care.
Well, that's our roster. That's our team. And now the only thing we can do is wait another couple of weeks. And then regular season baseball will be upon us. And then every night matters. Every day there's a game. Best time of year. So beyond excited. Matt, we will see you whenever we see you.
Catch you on the flip
You
side.
little traveler.
Yeah, I'll be traveling around, going to California next. I'm trying to see baseball games wherever I go, and
Nice.
try to go see games in LA while I'm down there.
Nice. Have you ever been to Dodger Stadium?
I have not.
Oh.
I've never been to the Big A either, but I know Dodger Stadium is probably the best attraction to go to, eh?
Let us know.
I
Also,
will.
Dodgers.
Come back and report.
Let's see if I can catch a Shohei pitching game.
Oh.
He's not even off the show. He's just our reporter in the field now.
Yeah, there you
You
go.
come back and you let us know.
Yeah, you can give a.
Unfortunately, I couldn't get to spring training over there in the
Oh.
Grapefruit League while I was there. I did look around, but it was really tough to get to spring training games. So I didn't come back with any news from Florida, unfortunately. Just a tan.
Just the tan.
But yeah, absolutely. Everywhere I go, I'm trying to catch baseball games at every major league stadium I can drive to. And we'll see it. When I go to Wisconsin in the future, I'll be able to go to Milwaukee and
Hell yeah.
Chicago and fucking drive around.
Both Chicago stadiums are awesome. Wrigley Field is crazy because it's just in the middle of a neighborhood, and it's
Wrigleyville.
beautiful. Yeah, and the White Sox stadium is really cool.
Guaranteed rate stadium.
Oh, they
Field.
changed it.
Oh yeah.
It's now just Rate Field, I think.
Rate field.
They
Woof.
dropped the guaranteed.
Did it make it better?
Mm.
No.
It's not guaranteed. Now it's just now
we
it's
just
just
got
a
a rate
rate.
for you.
flat rate.
There's a
Sorry.
flat rate.
We can't
Flat rate
guarantee.
is so good.
Flat Rate Field.
Sorry, Southside.
But the White Sox stadium is actually very pretty and very nice, and the people there are amazing. I love the people of Chicago at both stadiums, but the White Sox fans were especially cool.
Sick.
Yeah. You know, they have a lot of pain and suffering too, so
Of
it
course.
brings out
the fun.
Yeah.
You got to do something.
Yeah, you gotta
gotta
be having a
cope
good
somehow.
time. So we wish you the best as our field correspondent now.
Thank
as
you,
you're
thank
out
you.
there.
I know you boys will hold it down as the best Mariners podcasters in this here region.
That's right. And we'll see you whenever we see you, and we'll see the rest of you guys after start of regular season.
Maybe. We'll see.
We'll see.
We never know when we're going to do these. We just kick it,
Yeah.
throw it up on the internet.
Once we're into the regular season, we have a more set schedule, but we're playing pretty fast and loose with spring training.
For sure.
But thank you guys all for being a part of this. We're so excited. The regular season is right around the corner, guys. Every night, every game matters. All 162. Can't wait to experience it with all of you guys. Thank you all for listening, and go Mariners!